So, soldering 101 with LCV FPV. Alright, so 60/40 is what I prefer to use. If I can get this to fucking... There we go. 60/40. That's what I like to use. My temperature right now is at 680 Fahrenheit. Doesn't really matter where you get the solder. I got mine from Ace. I think I ordered this one online. You can get rolls at Ace Hardware. I don't like 6337. A lot of people like that. Don't get any bigger than this 16th inch size, because it will be a pain to solder with. This is still pretty big. But it's the bigger it is, the easier it's bendable like that, so you can basically just make it kind of stay where you want it to use. You can get these little things anywhere. They're the things for washing your dishes. Get one of these because it's really good for cleaning off your soldering iron. Rub that in there. You can put water on it and it really cleans it up. Cleans up your soldering iron tip. Makes it easier to clean your soldering iron tip. So when you get a piece like that, you know, the biggest thing for me is using flux. The biggest thing is using flux. I don't think it matters what you use. I found this stuff perfectly good. I have heard people that use this stuff and you put a bunch of it on your board, say like put a bunch of it on here, and you power it up and it ends up shorting it out because you didn't clean it off. So when you do use this stuff, you want to make sure you clean it off if you're using it on boards like this. But if you're using it on boards, you can buy these little Kester solder flex pins. They're awesome because it's no clean flux. You don't have to do anything. It comes out of the pin and it's liquid. It dries. It's gone. So basically what I do anytime I need to do something like this, twist the wires first just to make it easy so the wires don't fray. That's kind of just a thing that I've gotten used to from doing motor wires, because if you have motor wires that fray, you can have those short and touch each other. So I will always clip those down, I don't know, roughly 1/4 inch or less. No more than 1/4 inch. And you might need to retwist after you do that. What I really want to do right after that is just dip it right into the flux. This is why this stuff is nice, because when you're working with wires, you can just bop right it in there. Just get them nice and coated with flux. And what you can do is just not squeeze, but lightly wipe just a little bit off. Not all of it, but just a little tiny bit, enough that your soldering iron isn't going to be flooded with it. So that stuff is going to just do everything when it comes to soldering, and it's just going to flow the solder right into those wires. It's going to make it just instantaneous. Instead of normally you would have to hold your soldering iron on there for a while to get it to melt into that wire, because you got to get it to heat that wire up enough. So what I'll do is just kind of get this bugger to hold it here. Hopefully this will be in focus. I don't actually know because I've never done this, but we'll see. So there's still liquid flux on these wires. Now what you want to make sure you do, because you won't be able to put any heat shrink over top of this wire once it's on there, once it's soldered, because this end is connected to the board, right? So you want to put heat shrink over the wire already, and then you're going to come in and just basically just come in, make sure it's still in focus, and touch them together. And since they still have flux, they're just gonna flow right together. And it's gonna be nice and shiny. What you're looking for a good solder joint is a shine. If you see, come on, if you see a shine, a nice shiny little solder bubble, right? That means it's strong, because basically a weak, a cold is what they call them. A cold solder joint is gonna be a dull, and I don't know how else to explain it other than just dull. A dull color. So then, you know, if it's nice and shiny, you know you got a strong joint. Put that right over it. Bam. You're done. It's not a perfect wire, but it is the best you can get for after it's been clipped, basically. I mean, I do this regularly. I'll patch wires regularly, and yeah, this is the strongest way to do it.